review and travel.
The United States, 50 states woven into one vast, sprawling canvas. A land nearly the size of Europe, yet infinitely more diverse in its soul. Here you'll find the whisper of wind through ancient redwoods, the echo of footsteps across desert canyons, and the heartbeat of cultures colliding in cities that never sleep. From the sun-drenched shores of Hawaii to the snow-capped peaks of Alaska, from the jazz-soaked streets of New Orleans to the towering skyline of New York, America is not one story, but 1,000. And today, we'll uncover 50 of its most unforgettable destinations, not just to see, but to feel. These are the places that awaken something in you, that leave a mark long after you've left. So take a breath and step into the journey. This is the countdown to the 50 most extraordinary places to visit in the United States. Top 50, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In Philadelphia, history doesn't sit behind glass, it walks the streets. This is where a nation declared its independence, where the Liberty Bell cracked but the idea of freedom rang louder than ever. Along cobbled alleys and beneath colonial facades, the spirit of revolution still lingers not in defiance, but in quiet determination. Independence Hall, Benjamin Franklin's legacy, and the whispers of the Constitution live side by side with street art, hip-hop, and late-night cheesesteaks. Philly is a city of contrasts, of grit and grandeur, of old bricks and bold voices. It's not trying to impress you, it's inviting you to listen, to hear the heartbeat of a country right where it began. Top 49, San Antonio, Texas. In San Antonio, memory flows like water, winding, shimmering, and deeply rooted. Along the river walk, cypress trees bend gently over stone pathways, where cafes spill light onto the water and mariachi melodies echo through twilight. But beneath the beauty lies resilience. At the Alamo, the spirit of defiance still stands, a quiet stone fortress that witnessed sacrifice and shaped the soul of Texas. Here, Spanish colonial missions rise like whispered prayers, and vibrant traditions blend Mexican heritage with Southern warmth. San Antonio doesn't shout its story. It invites you to walk it slowly, reverently, and with open eyes. Because some cities you see, but San Antonio you feel in your bones. Top 48, Great Smoky Mountains National Park. In the dawnlight, the Smokies don't rise, they drift. Veiled in blue mist and soft silence, these mountains feel more like memory than landscape. Spanning Tennessee and North Carolina, the Great Smoky Mountains cradle over 500,000 acres of ancient forest, cascading waterfalls, and trails that echo with birdsong and forgotten footsteps. America's most visited national park isn't flashy, it's faithful. It offers not adrenaline but presence, not thrills but stillness. Hike the Appalachian Trail or wander into Cad's Cove and you may not find cell service, but you might just find yourself. The Smokies remind us that sometimes the most powerful places are the quietest. Top 47, New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans doesn't just exist, it sways. Down in the sultry heart of the American South, this city pulses with brass, spice, and soul. From the wrought iron balconies of the French Quarter to the candlelit crypts of old cemeteries, New Orleans dances between life and legend. This is the birthplace of jazz, where every street corner feels like a stage, and where even the shadows have rhythm. Savor beignets with powdered sugar kisses. Watch the riverboats drift along the Mississippi. Lose track of time and maybe yourself in a Mardi Gras masquerade. But underneath the celebration lies something deeper, a resilience that rose after storms, a culture that refuses to be forgotten. New Orleans isn't just heard. It's felt in your bones, your breath, and the spaces between the notes. Top 46, Monument Valley, Arizona. In the heart of the Navajo Nation, where silence speaks louder than words, rises Monument Valley, a cathedral of stone carved not by hands, but by time itself. Towering sandstone buttes pierce the desert sky like forgotten monoliths, their deep reds and oranges glowing under the desert sun. You've seen them before in Western films, car commercials, and dreams of the American frontier. But no screen can capture what it feels like to stand beneath them, surrounded by an empty horizon and ancient stillness. This land isn't just beautiful, it's sacred. To the Navajo people, it's a place of deep spiritual meaning. To travelers, it's a reminder that some landscapes don't need cities to be monumental. Monument Valley doesn't shout for your attention, it simply stands, timeless and true, waiting to be witnessed. Top 45 Austin, Texas. In a state known for tradition and 10-gallon pride, Austin stands apart and proudly so. This city wears its weirdness like a badge of honor, fueled by youth, creativity, and a soundtrack that never stops playing. With the University of Texas pumping vibrant energy into its core, and streets alive with music pouring from bars, rooftops, and even sidewalks, Austin has earned its title as the live music capital of the world. But the magic of Austin isn't just in its sound, it's in its soul. Come sunset, over 1 million bats rise from beneath the Congress Avenue Bridge in a swirling, sky-darkening spectacle that reminds you, this place is wild in all the right ways. From pink granite Capitol buildings to greenbelt trails that snake along hidden creeks, Austin is Texas, with rhythm, rebellion, and a whole lot of heart. Top 44 Mount Rushmore, South Dakota. Carved into the granite face of the Black Hills, Mount Rushmore is more than just stone, it's a monument to American identity, chiseled through vision, time, and raw determination. Between 1927 and 1941, craftsmen etched into the mountain the faces of 4 men who shaped a nation: Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln. Each gaze carved 18 meters tall, eternal against the sky, representing the birth, growth, development, and preservation of the United States. Standing beneath them, it's hard not to feel the weight of history pressing through the rock. This isn't just a sculpture, it's a question cast in stone: what legacy will we leave behind? At Mount Rushmore, time stands still, not in silence, but in purpose. Somewhere between Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas lies a sliver of time preserved in stone and silence. Mackinac Island. No cars, no noise, just the rhythmic clip-clop of horse-drawn carriages and the soft whir of bicycles winding through leafy lanes. The island bans motor vehicles and in doing so invites something rarer: stillness. Somewhere between Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas lies a sliver of time preserved in stone and silence. Mackinac Island. No cars, no noise, just the rhythmic clip-clop of horse-drawn carriages and the soft whir of bicycles winding through leafy lanes. The island bans motor vehicles and in doing so invites something rarer: stillness. Top 42 Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Shaped like a crooked arm reaching into the Atlantic, Cape Cod is more than just a summer escape. It's a New England reverie wrapped in salt air and sun-bleached shingles. Along its winding coastline, lighthouses keep watch, cranberry bogs bloom red in autumn, and bike trails trace a rhythm only locals and dreamers know. In Provincetown, where pilgrims first landed, art galleries and ocean wines collide in colorful chaos. In Hyannis, echoes of the Kennedy legacy linger on porches overlooking the sea. But the magic of Cape Cod is quieter than its history. It's found in the creak of a screen door, the smell of clam chowder, and the hush that falls at dusk as the tide slips in. Cape Cod doesn't ask for attention. It simply offers a place to remember how beautiful simple can be. The Top 41 Niagara Falls, New York. At the border where the United States meets Canada, Niagara Falls roars with a force that can't be ignored or forgotten. Every second, over 6 million cubic feet of water plunge from cliffs into the river below, crashing in a white fury that shakes the air and stirs something deep within you. 3 distinct falls, Horseshoe, American, and Bridal Veil, create a curtain of water so vast and powerful, it humbles everyone who stands before it. But Niagara isn't just about noise and spectacle, it's about presence. About feeling the mist on your face and knowing you're in the presence of something ancient and unstoppable. Whether seen from the edge, from a boat, or from above, Niagara Falls is less a destination and more a moment of awe that lingers long after you've left. The Top 40 Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At the confluence of 3 rivers and crowned by emerald hills, Pittsburgh is a city forged in fire and reborn in light. Once known as the Steel City, its past is etched in iron bridges and old smokestacks. But today, those same structures frame a skyline of renewal, where innovation, art, and community pulse through repurposed mills and modern museums. Walk the slopes of Mount Washington for views that turn steel and stone into poetry. Explore old warehouses now humming with cafes, galleries, and tech startups. In downtown's Point State Park, where Fort Pitt once stood, history and nature merge beside fountains that rise like memory. Pittsburgh isn't loud in its transformation, but it's proud. A city that didn't just survive change, it sculpted it. Top 39, Atlanta, Georgia. Once a railroad crossroads, now a cultural capital of the New South, Atlanta is a city where past and present don't collide, they converse. Rising from rolling hills and framed by pine forests, Atlanta stretches upward with three dynamic skylines, blending glass towers with old oaks and magnolias in bloom. This is the city of giants, not just in business, but in history. The echoes of civil rights still linger along Auburn Avenue, while the Georgia Aquarium, CNN Center, and World of Coca-Cola speak to a future built on connection and imagination. Atlanta doesn't forget where it came from, it builds on it. A place where innovation is rooted in resilience and Southern charm comes with global ambition. Top 38, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Founded in 1610 by Spanish settlers, Santa Fe is one of America's oldest cities, and perhaps its most poetic. Here, adobe walls glow with desert sun, and every shadow seems to hold a story. It's a place where native, Spanish, and Anglo cultures intertwine, not in tension, but in quiet harmony. City ordinances preserve the Pueblo Revival architecture, so no matter where you stand, the skyline stays low, the earth tones stay warm, and the past feels very near. Walk through the Palace of the Governors, America's oldest public building, or wander the halls of the New Mexico Museum of Art, where over 20,000 pieces tell stories in color, texture, and soul. Santa Fe is not loud. It's sacred, a place where silence speaks volumes and creativity never sleeps. Top 37, Aspen, Colorado. Tucked into a remote stretch of the Colorado Rockies, Aspen feels less like a town and more like a private doorway into the wilderness. Once a secret haven for the rich and reclusive, it's now a magnet for anyone chasing alpine beauty, whether on skis, mountain trails, or quiet walks along the roaring Fork River. In winter, the four world-renowned ski slopes glisten like silver, drawing thrill-seekers from across the globe. But when the snow melts, Aspen softens, wildflowers bloom, the air sweetens, and the mountains open like a love letter to solitude. More than a resort town, Aspen is an invitation to slow down, to breathe in cold air, and to remember how small and lucky we truly are beneath the peaks. Some places you visit, Aspen you feel. Top 36, Sedona, Arizona. At golden hour, the red rocks of Sedona don't just reflect sunlight, they radiate something deeper. Rising like cathedrals from the Arizona desert, these sandstone giants glow crimson and orange, as if lit from within. But Sedona isn't just about the view, it's about what you feel when you're there. For centuries, indigenous tribes believed this land held sacred energy. And today, seekers, healers, and wanderers still come in search of something they can't quite name. Hike Cathedral Rock or Bell Rock and the silence hums. Stand still and you might hear the earth breathing. Whether you're chasing vortex energy, desert light, or simply peace, Sedona offers not just a place, but a pause. A reminder that sometimes the landscape outside mirrors the one within.